have my notebook ready. Yeah, whenever you want. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I think let's let the audience, like, they're still joining and kind of.
Yeah. A lot of them are joining right now.
Are you trying to say something? Okay, fine.
No,
Go
no,
ahead.
no, 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 no.
Okay,
Okay, like
I'm
I
ready.
think,
Yeah,
yeah. We can start by just talking, I
sure,
guess. Yeah. Where
sure.
would you like to
Let's start.
start? Yeah. Wait. I'm responding to something right now. Okay. No,
You
no, no.
you can you take your time. I'm all ready. I'm all okay. Yeah, right.
Okay. Yeah. So, where would you like to start? So, do you want to introduce yourself or something like that, or?
Oh, not at all, not at all. I would just like to start with a question. See, I'm a human, like we all are, and nobody needs to know anything about me apart from the fact that I know what I'm talking and I have
Mm-hmm.
a certain experience. I know when I'm talking, I know what I'm talking about, and it comes not from some other success stories, but from my own, from my very own. So yeah, I can vouch for
Yeah.
that. Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead.
So, okay, you want to start with like talking about mental health and manifesting because that's I think what we wanted to first discuss, right?
Sure,
So,
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
just take it away
No,
from that. Yeah.
but that's related to one of my success stories. So not right now, because then when I
Okay.
start the story, then
Fine.
I'll
Fine.
be like, I'll talk
Yeah.
address at that time maybe. That's
Okay,
fine.
then let's go way to the beginning then. Like, how did you start? How did you come about this whole process? Like, what was your story? How did you start and all those kinds of things?
Okay. So basically, nothing. Okay, this would be like talking too much about myself, but I feel like I've always been a manifester. It's like something I've been doing, and this might sound crazy, and it can sound delusional to people who are new here, and they think that this is some hype, this is some fluff, this is some stupid delusional stuff. But let me tell you, it's really not. And many people look at me and think about like, oh, she has it so easy, or oh, look at her,
Mm.
she has everything, or so, something like that. But then I'm like, but so can
Mm.
you. So what's stopping you from having all of that? And
Exactly. Yeah.
so yeah, so like since childhood, I've been quite. I'm quite a creative person. I love daydreaming about this. I mean, I'm just I'm more of a daydreamer. So maybe I've daydreamed my life into existence up till
Mm.
now. So if you could, yeah.
So, like, when did you like formally discover like manifesting? Like, what year was it? Do you roughly remember?
Not exactly, but
Mm-hmm.
I can't be okay. Maybe 10th standard you could say, because okay. So in school I know I'm intelligent and all, but I was not very interested.
Yeah,
Like
you are very
uh
intelligent. Yeah.
no. So yeah. So that's what my mom used to say, like, why don't you give it your all? Why you are intelligent, you can do this. And then one day I just decided, like, okay, let me give it my all. And I used to quietly okay, one of the rules that I follow for manifestation is never talk about your desires to anybody else. Like not even your family, because I feel it kind of takes away their
Mm.
charm and the whole thing. So keep your desire, like not a secret, let it be a secret between you and your subconscious, or you and the universe,
Fair
or
enough.
whatever you
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
believe
yeah,
in.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so just go about it, like you do your stuff, you do your 3D stuff, and you keep your aim, like whenever whatever you want, you keep it. Okay, we do we have questions or what?
Yeah. We do have a question. Yeah, I'll
Yep.
answer everything like after this. Yeah, you just continue first. Yeah, guys, I'll just answer
Yeah.
all the questions that are coming. Yeah.
Oh, okay, fine. I think we can start with the questions itself. It's okay, fine. I'm okay with that.
Are you sure? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I'm
it
very
says
sure.
how to stop obsessing over SP. So, yeah,
Oh, okay. So now, okay, okay. So this
I
comes from
think
your
yeah.
no, no. What? Don't laugh. So, so this comes from your previous. I think why in the first place, why would you want to obsess over your SP? Like, why do you feel like mm, you need to obsess over your SP when? Can you just
Precisely.
define?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like see, basically, again, like I think you've heard it a million times from Gotham, and I'm going to say the same thing. It's like energetically, when you chase someone, when you're obsessing over someone, you are keeping that object, that person in your mental grip. You're not allowing that person or that thing just to be. And when you're doing that, you are, I'm sure I've been there. So when you obsess over something, you're really losing out on life, and you don't want to do that because there's so much more to life. And
Yeah.
And trust me, with all of my previous manifestations as well, it's come to me at a point where I've least expected it. And you really don't have to do anything. You do not have to lift a finger, like Neville says. It's very true. I've experienced it in flesh. You don't have to do anything. You just go about your life, keep faith that it'll happen and all of that. But with SP, I think
Mm.
it's a little bit different. I'll also cover this topic because I know many people are SP oriented in this community.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, of course, I
Tell
want to
me
cover
about
that as
it.
well. Yeah, no, I know. So, like, I think in one of your previous videos, you said like different techniques work for different things. Like,
Yeah,
suppose if
yeah,
I want to
yeah,
manifest
yeah.
money, then I do something different. If I want to manifest an SP, I would do something different. So
Mm.
it's the same. It's similarly with me. Like, so when
Okay.
it comes to SP, I feel okay, so now this is my view on suppose let's take two things. Let's take two examples. I'm manifesting a
Yeah.
house, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to my experience, manifesting neutral things, you don't have any bond or attachment with them as such. So it's very
Mm-hmm.
easy to, because a person's presence or absence, or the mere interaction with them, you kind of involve yourself. Like when you're manifesting a house, you're not going to miss a house as such. You're not going to like feel the absence of
Fair
it.
enough.
It's
Yeah.
either correct. So it's like when you with SP, it's a little different. So I tend to understand why people can cross the line, and why they can be obsessed, and why they can go into that spiral of missing them down, and and then again
Mm-hmm.
going back into the past memories and all of that. But I would just say you have to write out a new story for yourself and continue with
Mm-hmm.
that. And because see, it's not helping you. First of all, you need to decide what you
Yeah.
want in life. It's like, are you tired enough? Are you done with your own bullshit? I want to ask this question to all of y'all who are manifesting anything. It's whether it's because everything is possible to you. All the coaches and all the people in the world who've done it are going to tell you the same thing, that yes it's possible,
Mm.
and nothing matters, like genuinely nothing matters.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
so yeah, I think we have another question.
Oh, you can read it, is it?
Wait just a
Okay.
second. Wait. What is it? Hi, what's your explanation take on the relation of parallel relationship into
Into getting your desire.
what does it mean? I'm not getting this
I'm,
question.
I'm not I'm not getting it as well. Like
What
parallel
could you
imaginary.
clarify what does this mean?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
What is it? Really?
Because I think like and coming back to the initial question that you're answering, like I think with SP it's like a living entity, right? Like they are a living person, right? They are always moving, and like it's so hard to
Correct.
assume, like what are they doing, like if
It's
it's a
completely
house.
normal. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I definitely understand
I
parallel realities.
no, wait. So what
Parallel
parallel
take on
I
the
come.
parallel realities into getting your desire, how creation works. Okay, so
Okay, so
yeah,
Uh,
go ahead, go
okay,
ahead.
so one thing, okay, so one thing I've realized is, I'm sorry I'm sounding this way, but that's none of your business. You do not need to know how
I
everything
know.
works. For God, for fuck's
Exactly.
sake, just let that go, please. For Neville's sake and for everyone's sake involved, for your own as well. I think you should just let it go, because I am a very logical person. I'm a very practical person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually I was a lot in my own way until a few days ago, and I realized that it's really none of my business. And
Exactly.
thankfully it's not. You don't have, look, your 3D self, let me put it very brutally, your 3D self is very incapable of giving you your desire. So it's like so I'll give you an example. It's like when you tell a 5th standard child to go and solve a 10 standard math problem. The child is not going to be able to do that. But thankfully also it's not the child's job. So why don't you let the child do what it does best? Live your 3D life. Like just go about your life.
Mm,
All the means, all the decisions, all the ways, all the when and hows are devised. Like all of this is happening between your desire and your subconscious mind. So why don't you let them take over it, and why don't you do what your 3D self is
exactly.
actually
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
capable of doing?
Mm,
Like, yeah, just live your life.
mm,
It's just okay. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, the point of life is to live it, like not figure out, what's
You don't
everything,
hold
and
yourself back.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like now,
yeah,
suppose if I
yeah,
have a
yeah, yeah,
desire
yeah.
and the whole day I'm thinking about thinking about your desire 24/7 also
Mm.
delays it.
Yeah, 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 true, true, true. Because here's the thing, like, I don't know if you aware of this in the community, but like people have like wasted like years, like just thinking about the SP, not living their life. They
Exactly.
will
So
like
that's where
spend
it's
a
all coming
whole
from.
year and so on and so forth, and by the time they look back at the whole thing, it's like, oh no, like that time is not going to come back for me, especially like during a pandemic and everything. That
Correct.
time period is not going to come back to you.
Absolutely.
And yeah, so I feel like they should really make use of the time and really like make the most out of it, enjoy every moment. Like I always tell people,
Absolutely.
right, like you're never going to be this young again, regardless of
Exactly.
how
Yeah.
old you are. Like you're
Yeah.
never going to be this young again, ever again.
Nothing
So
is
yeah,
gonna ever be what it is right now or ever again. So just wait.
exactly. Yeah.
What would be one's routine to manifest a routine? What if thoughts come about them? Okay. So I'll
Manifest.
tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew we were gonna get questions. I knew I saw you just can't
Yeah,
avoid this
yeah,
topic.
yeah.
Okay. So let me tell you what I do. Like since I told you, like if compared between two desires or non-living thing, even money or abundance for that matter, I know that we are not very attached. So when it comes to SP, I would see, let me be very honest. From your SPs, I'll tell you what it is. Many of them have had breakups or something like that, or something is they're not in contact or something is not right. So that's the first place you want to
Hmm.
manifest them. So I would say that deep down there are certain things that you want your SP to say, and once in reality if they would do that, then you would actually let go of the obsession to do all the things that you're doing. So I would suggest, I would really suggest Gautam's technique here, which is also one of my favorite techniques, the letter technique. It's like whatever you want to hear from any person, why don't you give it to yourself? Why are you waiting for them to say it to you? Because it's really going to lift up all the weight or all the desperation off your shoulders. I'm sure I've done it, so I know. And why
Hmm.
don't you just write a letter from them to yourself and read it every night, so that it'll set a base with when it comes to SPs. I love doing this because
Precisely. Yeah.
otherwise, yeah, okay, right. So it's like when you read that letter, it's as good as, and you will feel this. Just I want you all to try it out just once. You will feel it's coming from them and you will want to do it. And when you will be reading it every night, you'll feel a kind of a relief, like, okay, oh, was that it, like was this, or was that all I wanted to hear from that person? Then you'll go to bed sleeping content, and you'll feel like, okay. And also when it comes to SP, I would say if any thoughts you're getting, go to your end scene. First of all, just like Neville says, and like all of the coaches also, construct an
Hmm.
end scene. And every time you get a thought about it, I would say, even before the thought arises, when you're getting thoughts about them, go to the end scene, and then stop entertaining anything else other than that. When you get a thought, go to
Exactly.
the end
Yeah.
scene. When you get a thought, go to the
Hmm.
end scene. In this way, you are rewiring your mind, not only your subconscious, your conscious mind. You're training your mind, you're changing
Focus
the
should always
tracks
be
in
on
your
the end.
brain.
Yeah.
Definitely. And why
Hmm.
now you would ask, like, I'm not an affirmations
No
person. i
contact.
i
NC means no contact. Yeah. Sorry, I was
okay.
answering a question there. Sorry, sorry.
Yeah, sure. So I'm not a very affirmations person. I'm more of a visualization person. So I
Hmm.
nothing like no nothing against people who are firm and all that. People are comfortable with different things. So basically, visualization. Why I would There's a very logical reason as to why visualization has worked for me, and why, just my take, no offense to anybody who's into other techniques, but why, I'll give you a very logical explanation to this. Suppose if I tell any of you who is watching this live, if I tell you, wherever you all are in your room or wherever, just go, get up and go to another room, go to your hall, go to your kitchen. So when I said this, it's impossible that you won't get an image of that room first, that place first. As we talk, as we think, it is impossible, unless you're brain dead, that you get images about whatever is being talked, whatever we
Exactly.
see. Images precede any
Hmm.
form. Like lightning is faster than sound. When you hear the thunder, you first hear the lightning and then you hear the voice. Similarly with our brains,
Hmm.
images precede anything else. Images come into our brains faster than anything else. So even when I say these words, my SP loves me, right, there's still a lag. There's still a time lag. And then, but when I imagine my SP kissing me, then what else do I have to say? The image itself is self-explanatory. An image speaks 1,000 words.
Fair
So,
enough. Yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So that about that. Yeah.
No, that's a very
Can
good
we?
analogy. Yeah, the lightning one is a really good analogy there.
Yeah,
I won't
because
forget
it's
it.
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I think there was one question. Why 24/7 dreaming about manifestation delays it? Like if I study, I like visualizing that I cleared my exams. That moves me and I study more. But also, yes, things I always visualize doesn't manifest. Why? So I think,
Ex- hmm.
yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead,
yeah.
go ahead.
Gautam, you
Yeah,
take.
yeah.
No, 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 no. You take this one. You take this one. Go ahead.
No, I feel like, yes, you are visualizing it, but are you living in the end? There's, thinking of the end and thinking from the end. There's like two
Correct.
different ways of doing it. Like you have to think from the end desire as well. You have to, really not think like, okay, I'm going to do this or this is going to happen. You have to assume like, okay, this has already happened, and you do whatever you have to do in the 3D. It's not like, oh, I have already gotten the marks and I'm not even going to attend my exam. Of course not, right? You're still going to do the things. A top student is still going to, always keep their mind sharp by practicing and stuff like that. So you can just see it as such. I think with studies especially, like people always think, oh, if I already got my marks, then why should I study, and those kinds of things. You still put in the work because you embody the state, that state of a person who has, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do
So
you have
here
anything to
I would
say?
like.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So here I would like to say. Yeah, I'll answer this question. It's like
Yeah.
first. Okay, so basically a conscious manifester, it's like I declare something first and then I go into it. Okay, so recently I gave this exam, which is quite an annoying exam. It has really annoying things to study for and everything. But I decided, I declared that I am coming to this center for the first and the last time. I'm going to give this exam
Hmm.
only once. I don't, yeah, so
Okay.
whatever it is. And whenever I had the thought of an exam, I used to visualize 84, 84, 84, like it was out of 100. So
Okay.
this is what I do. Whenever I thought about that exam, basically in my mind, there was no other option for me but to clear it or get these marks. So you have to be
Yeah.
kind of insane. You have to be stubborn. If this might sound very crazy to people, but whenever you get the thought of your desire, you have to have a one track mind. Can you do that? Can you discipline yourself? It's all about discipline
Mm,
here. When the thought comes, I used to only see 84, then how can I have other thoughts when I'm seeing 84? It's like it's like for me, it's this is my way or the highway. It's like like genuinely no other thought exists. So in terms of exams or in terms of anything, many people have this question, like if I already have my desire, then what is my 3D self doing? Then what why am I studying? But I look at it like this. I'm like, I know I've passed this exam, but
mm,
my 3D self has just not reached there. So whatever I'm doing, of course, your 3D self is your 3D self. It's going to take time. So look at it like this, like, yes, I know I've already got these marks. I've already got my distinction. So whatever I'm doing is just to match that reality. So you will be relaxed.
mm.
Basically, you can look at it at this way, like whatever we are already there, but not in the 3D world. So that way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everything is basically unfolding perfectly,
Of
towards
course,
the
yeah, it
fulfillment.
has
Yeah,
to.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, okay, we'll answer some other questions later as well.
sure.
Like I think, yeah,
Hmm.
it will come. Yeah. So let's go back to our where did we leave off before we answer the questions? We were talking about how did you begin, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
where did
So
we leave off? Yeah.
basically I was a stubborn ass child. Like basically, if
Mm-hmm.
I used to have this sentence, it's like, and then I understood that's the law. I used to say this like, if
Mm,
I am the one who has decided I'm going to have this, then who the hell is anybody else to tell me otherwise? So
mm,
this used to be like, I don't know. These are thoughts. People put so much of I don't know what's. There's a lot of hype. There's a lot of focus on techniques and affirmations. They're just making it so difficult. Affirmations is
mm.
nothing but the thoughts you have. Like right now,
Exactly.
you're
Lines
having
of thoughts.
thoughts.
Yeah.
Right now, if you have a thought that, oh my god, I have to board this train, or I have to go and cook this for this is your thought. This is your affirmation. What's so unnatural? What's so great about it? It's not great. It's a very normal thing. Manifesting itself is so easy. It's so normal. I think
Mm.
people make it sound like, oh my god, now I'm going to manifest, then I have to do this and I have to do that. And I think that, I don't know, that can put people into bad mental health, actually.
Yeah, because I think affirmations, like even all the techniques are simply tools, right? You are manifesting 24/7 regardless.
Of course, you
Like,
are.
yeah, like that's the thing that a lot of people, like, I think, like, like I don't think they fail to realize it per se, but they forget about it in the process of, like, thinking about techniques and everything. But yeah, you are manifesting 24/7. Tools are there to just align you to live in the end as much as you can so that you are manifesting.
Agreed.
That's it. Yeah.
Basically, when it comes to any desire, I would just like to ask one simple question. Just forget all the questions that all your workbooks or all your coaches have asked you. Let's get down to this very simple basic question. So if you want something, what do you like? What do you like? Because there has to be something that you enjoy. There has to be some thoughts. Okay, so now there are two kinds of
Exactly.
thoughts. One, thoughts, if we divide them, thoughts which we don't like, which we are not which don't give us any kind of pleasure. They either, I don't know, they
Mm,
either trigger a bad memory or they trigger fear or anxiety. There are good thoughts and not good as or thoughts basically, but there are thoughts that trigger negative
favorable
emotions
and
and thoughts,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, and positive emotion. So basically, why wouldn't you like to dwell into your positive thoughts? Even, okay, just for some sake, people find it difficult to live in the end. Let's just say that this is fake, this is not here yet, I can't see it yet. Okay, I agree, but what do you have to lose if you just dwell in those thoughts? It's that simple. My SP doesn't love me, he said he doesn't love me, but why don't you just start imagining a line of thought, a train of thought where everything is going well, and he just comes and he says that,
Mm,
okay, this and that, just mere fancy or mere whatever daydreaming also. Basically, do what makes you feel good. If you want to feel good, think those thoughts, give yourself the permission to think those thoughts.
exactly. So what you're exactly saying is, like, if you're going to think favorably anyway, because what are you going to lose out of that, right?
Exactly. What's there to
Yeah,
lose
yeah,
about it?
yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, 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 yeah. Like, I think Donald Trump used to say something like, if you're going to think, you might as well think big, you know?
Exactly. Why not?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah. It's just thoughts. Like, you're not spending anything. You're not, going out there doing anything. You're just thinking about it. But I
I
think,
feel. I feel.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I feel. All of this comes from a place where people fail to realize that. Okay. So first of all, you have a thought, and then you think that the immediate next thought is, but what if it doesn't happen? Or what if he doesn't see this? Or what if I don't? What if this doesn't happen? But
Yeah.
what? So I think this comes from a little. It'll take a little while and a practice to realize that there is nothing outside. It's like you
Mm,
absolutely are standing at a cliff, and there is nothing in front of you. Like, genuinely, you do not have to battle anything else outside of you, because there really is nothing outside of you. There's only you.
mm,
So this fear comes from a place of thinking that there are others, there is something outside of yourself,
yeah,
that,
yeah,
oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
god, what if this doesn't happen? But how can it not happen? Because it's you, it has to happen.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. I think a lot of the times is like when it comes to unfavorable programming, like it's society, right? Like we have been programmed to
Correct.
think from the worst case scenario. So it's like, yeah, you can't blame, anyone in this, but like, how they say it's like for childhood, like you're not responsible for the traumas you experienced, fair enough. But as an adult, it's on you to go and resolve them.
Definitely,
It's just
because
the
you're
way
the
it
one
is.
who's
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
suffer
yeah, yeah.
otherwise. It's nobody else, right?
Exactly. Yeah, 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 precisely. So it's the same thing here. Like with any unfavorable thought, you're the one who's going to suffer it. Whether it's because
Definitely.
of, like, your program, because of like your family members or movies in general or whatsoever, like it's on you
Hmm.
still. Like you are the one who's going to suffer at the end of the day. So it's on you to go and reprogram yourself. You can stand here and argue, with someone else, but why is this is not fair and everything, but it's on you still.
Again, also
Yeah,
again, the basics of the law is you can't argue with anyone, because it's because of you that they're behaving like that. That was some realization that I really had. Like, I've
true, true,
absolutely
true.
changed my family member from, I would say, from A to Z, because now that
Mm,
person is so different. Like, we couldn't have imagined it, but then I started doing this by seeing the positive things. Like, I agree,
mm,
Loki, there's a person you could hate, but it's not possible that they don't have even one good quality. It's just not possible.
mm,
So, like,
mm,
you
mm, mm.
start by looking at the good in them, and like, okay, fine, this person sucks and all of that, but yeah, but still, you just look, but yeah, she's hardworking, how can I take that away from her? So, or whatever, start by looking at the good things, build up, then by So see, they are minute shifts that happen within your consciousness. The more and more and more good you actually, basically this comes to training your mind. In all the techniques and all the things that you're doing, you're actually just training your mind.
Training your
you're
mind,
changing
yeah.
you're just changing your neurological tracks. Basically it's just that, like, science and spirituality both support manifestation, so what do we have to lose?
Yeah, like you are changing your thought patterns, that has been ingrained in your mind. And that's why when it comes to techniques, we always talk about repetition all the time. And I think that's where
Yes,
people really get complacent, really, if you think about it. Like people don't, like continue their techniques, whatever that they do, in a repeated fashion. They're always
correct.
jumping from techniques to techniques, which I feel like is one of the reasons why sometimes they're not
Definitely.
in on track. And they're also changing a lot of things as well. Like it's so hard for people to be consistent these days, so yeah.
Yes, at the end, if you're see when you're jumping from technique to technique, you're actually coming from a place of lack. You're telling your brain that I need to do something is not right. So if I might do this, if I might just read this post, and then if I might just try out this
Yeah.
method, then something might happen. But how can you do it when you already are? Okay, suppose if I'm manifesting a house, for example,
Mhm.
and then I'll be like, oh, but let me meet this let me go to this person, let me go to this property person, I should meet this person, maybe she has a
Mm,
house, maybe this, maybe that. But then every time I've trained my mind and I'm at a point where, but how can I do that when I'm already living in that house? And I cut the thought there, like I don't let it, take more. I
mm.
don't continue the train of thought that way.
Yeah. I think like that's the main thing, like cutting the thoughts. And for that, you
Cut
have to
it,
be
yeah,
aware
just
of your
cut it.
thoughts. Yeah.
Correct,
You have to
absolutely.
be very mindful of your thoughts. So that's
Very.
one thing, like, be very mindful of it. And, another thing, of course, people will say is, but that's very hard, like,
Hmm.
but that's, so what do you have to say for that? Like, what's your take on that to people who say that's very difficult?
I would, if actually I was a coach, and attachment is one of the major reasons I've seen people be stuck with their manifestation for months or years, as some people mention. So I would say, if I
Mm,
was a coach, I would be like, definitely, if you're joining coaching, it has to be for a certain desire. But I would also tell them, kindly come along with that desire. Please come with two more, which you're not attached to, because
yeah.
the point is, even I've seen this, the all my, like, the I have manifested for people as well. Like, I
Mm,
told you, right, I manifested a specialization branch for my friend. So I realized when I'm doing
yeah.
all of that, I'm not very attached. So it happened
Yeah.
very, very quickly, like very quickly, and it really happened. So I would say, uh, the confidence that you need, I think most people struggle because they don't have the confidence. This is very true.
Confidence, yeah.
They don't have the trust. When people say, when even like everywhere, the whole community is filled with posts of knowing, of trusting, but trusting what, knowing what, how can I know when I actually don't know? So I would say, if you have a particular desire, say suppose manifesting an SP, I would say, come, try it out on your other desires as well. Even if you don't have a desire, please create something, manifest something for someone, just
Mm,
go and do it, test the law. There's a reason why people say you should test the law, because the confidence or the knowing that everyone talks about, or that others who have been able to do this talk about, comes not from reading 100 success stories of other people, but one of your own. Like,
yeah,
you
yeah,
could
yeah,
read
yeah, yeah.
success stories all day long, but that's not going to help you, let me tell you.
Mm,
But once you go and manifest even a little insignificant thing, once you manifest something, then first of all, I'll tell you what this does. It's like, it tells you, first of all, you will understand what works for you. You
mm.
sorry, you could talk to a coach all day long, you could take coaching for years, and it will not click with you, because basically you have
Unless
to
you try
sit
it
with
for yourself,
yourself.
yeah.
Exactly,
Mm,
basically
mm.
your subconscious or your mind, everything is unique. You are unique itself, so everything works differently for different people. So a coach can only help you to a certain point, but after that it's your responsibility. It's your it'll really help you if you know first what works for you and what doesn't, basically. So
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
say,
yeah,
instead,
yeah, yeah. Mm.
Instead of following people and instead of going and asking people, oh, you did this, so you got this, but maybe you don't even have to do that much. They'll
Mm.
tell you that no, you know what, I affirmed for like 20 days and then this happened and then that, and then somebody will tell you, no, I used to imagine this 24/7. But who knows, you might just imagine it once and it happens for you. By you are robbing yourself of your capacity to be better than them. Why do you think that some basically stop asking people, try
Mm.
this out on your own. I would really suggest go
Mm.
and manifest things that you really are not desperate for, that will tell you what technique works for you. You only that can build the confidence that you need, only because at the end it's you versus you. It's you are not trusting anybody else, you are trusting yourself. And when I say myself, I don't even mean the human form of me. I know my human form is very limited. It's basically
Mm.
very incapable of doing whatever we are talking about. I'm actually talking about
Yeah, yeah.
the God in me, the consciousness that the Neville spoke
Mm.
about. And for God, everything is possible, and it really is.
It really is. It really is. Yeah,
It
yeah, yeah.
really is, yeah.
Because I really wanted to talk about, you brought up a very good topic to talk about, which is like binge watching a lot of stuff, right?
Oh
Like,
Lord, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
totally
Don't do.
against
I've
that.
been
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah.
because I've never been to Reddit actually. Like, if it wasn't for people telling me about Reddit, I wouldn't have gone into the manifesting forums of Reddit, honestly. And it honestly seems like a never-ending rabbit hole, like from what I see.
It is.
And
It's very, and
yeah,
it
yeah,
really
yeah,
affects your
yeah,
mental
yeah.
health. Your hours
Mm,
after, you're wasting your precious time just sitting and not doing anything, thinking, obsessing. Oh, maybe this might work. Oh, this, oh that. It's literally an
yeah, yeah, yeah,
obsession. Right? So you don't want to
yeah,
do that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's worse than drugs. Like it really.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Even
Yeah.
Neville talks about it like, test it for yourself. Try
Please
it
do.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
because if you don't
even
believe it, like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
so
No, go
yeah,
ahead.
the faith, the knowing, even
Mm,
Neville, even if he was alive today, even he wouldn't be able to help you because his knowing was cultivated by his own self. The
exactly.
knowing,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
part, coaches can give you everything. They can give you all the material in the world, but they still can't give you the knowing,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, you have to try it
No,
out for yourself. Yeah,
like
yeah,
I
yeah.
say, knowing can only be known. I can't even talk about the knowing.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
But that's an interesting question. So, if let's say we will normally say, right, like, okay, manifest a cup of coffee or manifest a specific car and stuff like that. There are folks, and I'm not looking down on them or anything like that, but this is a genuine problem sometimes. Like, people can't manifest even that, you know? So, like, even like a specific colored car or, like some sort of a sign that they are looking for, they can't even manifest that, to kind of like strengthen their faith. So, what would you like say for that? Like, what's your take on that?
Because again, I'm sure when people can't even do that, it's because again, it's coming from a place of doubt or thinking. I'm 100% sure people who've had this question, it's coming from a baseline emotion of, but can I manifest this? But let me try. But what if this doesn't happen? Wherever
Mm,
doubt is, wherever your baseline, wherever your basic emotion is doubt, wherever there's fear, wherever there's anxiety, wherever you're questioning anything, it's really not going to happen. So
mm,
I don't know how to how to go about this, but I would just say let it loose. Basically, this is one line which is very important. Just let it
mm,
loose, let it go. Like, sometimes, okay, so it's like suppose if I'm a writer, and you've seen this so commonly, it's like the director is like, give me a script, the show is due tomorrow, and where's the script?
mm.
So you see writers sitting at hours at the desk, and they don't know what to do, but they might just go out for a walk and the idea might just click, and then the script flows in.
Fair enough. Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like don't again, it's like don't stay there, don't put so much pressure on yourself. It will come. Let it loose, let it flow, let it flow.
No, no, no. That's very important, honestly, because like even for
and
me, like if
and
I'm sitting down, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And even when you say like go manifest a cup of coffee, I'm 100% sure they are doing it like, oh, then this is how I'm gonna manifest my SP. I need to manifest this cup of
Mm,
coffee, because then how would I know if this is gonna happen or no? So there have to be some baseline thoughts which are really stopping it. It has to
yeah,
be.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just waving to everyone right now.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can.
So yeah, I think no, I think like no, you are very true in that sense because it's like you have to like just let it go, but letting go comes from like two ways. Like, tell me if you agree with this. One is saturation. like you are repeating it so much to the point where you can't believe otherwise. That's when
That's
you reach
coming.
the Sabbath,
The
basically.
correct.
Yeah,
Saturation is knowing. That is good.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah,
but when
yeah.
you're so confident and when you're like, when you're at a place like, oh my God, this has, it's inevitable. That is a knowing. That is like there
Mm,
are two kinds of saturation. One gets you into the knowing and one gets you into depression. One gets you into
mm,
obsession. It's like, oh my God, I've been doing this since months and it's not happening. What should I do? And one of it is like, this is inevitable. He has to come and he has to say this to me. This has to happen. There's no other way.
yeah, yeah,
When you
yeah,
think
yeah.
of it, see, I'll tell you. So now, how do you know whether it's saturation or whether it's knowing? So you think of your desire and you think, this is done. This is done. This is done. This has to happen. This has to happen. This
Mm,
is gonna. This has to happen. There's no other way. But when you think of your desire and like, why is it not happening? Why I've been trying everything else? So basically observing your feelings and where all of it is coming from is very important in all of this. So saturation is
mm,
a very good I don't know, like pointer, I would say, but try to know where it's coming from. Where is your saturation actually coming from? Is it
yeah.
coming from a place of knowing? Are you
Of
like really
love.
done to
Yeah,
a
yeah,
point?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Are you like really done to a point where you're so confident, like nothing in the
Yeah,
world, not even you yourself, can stop this from happening? Then that's good.
exactly.
But if it's coming from a point where I think I should just kill myself because I've tried everything else and it's just not happening. Let me call him. Let me go to his house. Let me do this. Let me do that. Then you know that you're
Yeah,
not on
yeah,
the
yeah.
right track.
It's basically like coming down to 2 points actually. Either are you coming from a place of love or fear? You can
Absolutely. Yeah.
saturate your, yeah, the underlying emotion, if you are obsessing and everything, it's fear, insecurity, not assuming the best, always going back to the worst case scenario, especially with
Yeah.
SP, because yeah,
Mm.
people are always like, what's he doing? What's he up to? Right? Like what, yeah, and that's the kind of thing that kind of leads it to it. And but if you're
What,
coming
what,
from a
what,
place of love, yeah,
what's he doing? You don't need to know that. Basically you don't need to know.
yeah,
You don't have to focus on that. Like, what's he doing? He could be kissing a girl right there and it's none of your business, because it's like, it
mm,
just doesn't matter what he or she, whatever, is doing. Because is that your focus? Is your end goal to know what he's doing? Then don't focus on that. If your end goal is getting back
mm,
with them or something, again, I would say go to your end scene. When you think of your
yeah,
desire,
yeah,
go to
yeah.
your end scene, go to your end scene, go to your end scene.
Good
So
answer.
it's like, when you do this, when you do what I'm talking about, when you actually go to your end scene, you're actually cutting down the time, or you're actually cutting down all the crap. You're cutting down the emotion
Mm,
itself from the manifestation part. If I'm thinking about my
mm,
house, it can go two ways. It can be like, oh my God, I'm going to be broke forever and I'm stuck in this apartment. Or it can be like, oh no, I have this house and then I'm living like that. But even when I'm saying this, even as I'm thinking this, there is an interval. Again, like the lightning thing I said. But whenever I think
mm,
of my desire, my house, and I directly picture myself sipping coffee in my house, then what's more to say about it? Your brain is not even getting any time to think about any kind of emotion, positive or
mm,
negative. It's like there is no emotion involved, there's no time lag involved, and by that you can filter out. Many people have this problem, like, how do I, whenever I think of my thought, whenever, sometimes when I think of my desire, I'm very confident and then I start thinking good things, and sometimes when I think about my desire, I start thinking from
mm,
lack. But the whole point to skip, this is a method to skip your thoughts completely out of your manifestation itself. Like, no thoughts, just the image. Like, if you picture yourself sipping coffee in your new house, what is left, what more is left to imagine? There is no thought about that. It's a
exactly.
fact, it
Yeah,
becomes a
yeah, yeah.
fact. So when you, that's what Neville says, when you think of your desire as a fact, so don't from it. So think of the image.
Mm,
Images are very self-explanatory. So you don't have to go and think anything actually. Emotions are really not related to manifestation. You could be crying and doing everything, and yet if you keep your focus on that one image, which implies a fulfillment, then you will still manifest it, because emotions and manifestation have got nothing to do with each other.
mm. Yeah, because the mind can't differentiate between what you're seeing in your mind and like what's
Absolutely. The
happening, right?
subconscious
As you
is
are,
blind.
just yeah, 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 exactly. So that's why, like, I think like it's a really good thing that you brought it up as well. And like emotions, right? People always confuse emotions and feeling it real, right? Like, so when we
Yes.
are talking about feeling it real, we're talking about being in the scene and not the emotions itself. Like, like I think
Yeah, yeah.
the
There's a
main thing
difference.
that I've
Okay, okay.
noticed in the community, yeah. Yeah.
No, continue. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
answering. Yeah.
Yeah, so emotions and feeling. Yeah, this is a very good one. So earlier when I started manifesting, I used to think like I have to feel happy, or okay, so let's say I'm manifesting in SP, then I have to feel loved, or I have to feel so happy about
Mm.
it. I have to feel so ecstatic. Oh, he's calling me, he's doing that, and all of that. So these are all emotions, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
actually no, and that's, you tell me, is it humanly possible for us to carry that emotion or to stay in that emotion 24/7? I don't think so. That's not
Absolutely
only
not. Yeah.
torture, and it's very
Mm.
unnatural as well. So when I
Mm.
say get into, when whoever says get into the feeling of the wish fulfilled, the feeling that they're talking about is the feeling that the knowing that you know that actually you have to be shameless in when you're manifesting something. You have to be stubborn to a point where even you refuse to listen to your own thoughts. Forget others, but even if some other contradictory thoughts come into your mind, you're like, shut up,
Yeah.
no, this is not it, this is
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
It's sorry, it's that, it's like you have to be that stubborn, you have to be
Yeah.
that obstinate, like no, this is not happening, this is not happening. How can this happen when this is already the truth? So basically you be patient with yourself. Every time you get the thought of your desire, you redirect yourself. Like, suppose okay, today you're feeling low because your SP is not calling you or you're not in contact, but then you go like, how can I feel low when we are actually together now, so he can call me at any time. So basically you're redirecting your brain, and that's how it
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah. So in other words, go within, go into your imagination.
Yeah,
Use
you have to
that.
be
Yeah, yeah,
completely, you have
yeah.
to complete, even if the outside world is on fire right now, you have to not do anything about it. You have to be that unbothered and that shameless and
Exactly.
persist in your, yeah, you have to be shameless. I'm telling you honestly, you have to be very stubborn, and like, you have to be, it's okay whatever people think, but you have to do this. Otherwise you're going to go back into that old story, and you're going to reinfect yourself, and you're going to stay stuck in that loop for god knows how long.
Yeah. That's why I always like ask people, like, why did you even begin this in the first place? Like, the why is very important, because if
It's
you
very
don't know
important.
that, yeah, you're gonna waver, eventually down the road and everything like that.
Hmm.
Especially when it comes to SP, you need to know why you start this journey. Is it because you
Definitely.
felt lonely, or is it because you had that love for that person in the first place? Because those are two different reasons.
Very,
And I
very
feel
different
like,
reasons, correct.
yeah, exactly, yeah. Because I feel like the people who waver in the middle, who ask themselves like, okay, do I really want this guy or girl or anything like that, is because the reasons why they started on this journey was not, to manifest the SP back because they love them. It's because maybe they felt lonely, maybe they wanted like companionship in general, not
True.
necessarily the SP. So,
Hmm.
I feel like, you have to take some time off to reflect that first before, like,
Exactly.
yeah. So,
Everything comes
yeah,
down to self reflection. So look, you can escape everything but not yourself. So to do
precisely.
anything,
Yeah.
I feel to do anything to achieve not only your manifestations, but for life in general, it's very important that you know yourself. Without knowing yourself, without
Yeah.
knowing you, no other knowing is possible, right? You can't escape yourself. So you have to
Mm,
know what are my strengths, what is my weakness, what do I like, how things work, how do things work for me, like how far have I come, like what do I actually want. You need to sit down with yourself, gather the clarity, and then start. See, I think when people join coaching, or in general when they come into this community, they are very desperate. They are like, I don't want to waste time, I don't want to waste time, I need to get at it right
mm,
now. Like, coach, why are you wasting my time, why are you asking me these questions, is this necessary? It absolutely is. Like, if, because everything in your life has one thing common, and that is you, right? Even your
mm.
desires are you
The
yourself.
common
So
equation
how,
is always you.
yeah, so how can you
Yeah.
escape yourself? How can you take a shortcut which escapes working with yourself? So I would really suggest not to do that. Okay.
Yeah, and it's like a practical thing too, It's like, it's not even for manifesting per se, even if you're choosing a career and everything,
It's a way of living your
yeah,
life. You people,
precisely.
I think
Yeah.
I think many of these questions and equations stem from the very fact that people have not yet discovered themselves. So they don't know
And
what
it,
do they
yeah, goes
want,
all the way
what works for
back to
them.
childhood as well. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Because like I've seen a lot of adults who still surprisingly don't know what they want to do. not looking down on them or
Exactly.
anything like that per se,
Yeah,
but
we're not looking
it's
down
very
here, but
tragic,
then
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
very
yeah.
tragic. It's like you've not you don't know what you want. Basically, again, like I said, it comes from a lack of self discovery. You have to really sit down with yourself, ask
Mm,
yourself some questions like, okay, who am I really? Like, what do I really want? What, apart from the society or my parents or everything else, what is it that I actually desire in life? What do I actually want? How do I
mm,
see how do I want to be seen? Like, all these are basic questions. So that's what actually coaches ask you in the first place, in the first few days or
mm.
whatever. So yeah, so I feel working on yourself is the most important thing. If you are
Yeah,
not
it's the
confident,
most important. Yeah, 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 yeah. But people brush it off often though. They think it's not
again,
important,
again,
Yeah, yeah,
it comes
yeah.
from a time where it comes from a place where they are, I don't want to waste time. Why are we doing this? Then they feel that days are a waste. They
Mm,
just want to get at the
mm,
SP stuff right away. But that is, it's not going to work again. Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because like one thing that I realized was, this is yeah, like you said, it's all about me more so than anything else in my life.
definitely, yeah,
And these are big questions, like especially like with regards to not even manifesting, like say career, for example. You don't want to be in a career that you don't like for the rest of your life. That's
definitely
what,
not.
brings you to midlife crisis when you're like 35 or 36, basically. Like,
Absolutely. And that's the beauty of this law, is that things can
yeah.
change in the blink of an eye. So why won't you allow it to? Like, basically, this is my question. When you know that thing,
Mm,
but I feel many of the people don't believe it in the first place, that things can change. So I feel the saddest part is the ability to believe that things can be different. What do you have to say about this?
believe that things can be different. Yeah. Because a lot of people don't believe that because they often look at circumstances.
And they
And then
think
I
it's
know
so
the
solid.
community always like, yeah, and they always say like circumstances do not matter. You know that meme where the pipe is leaking and then they are like slamming the tape. Circumstances do not matter. Yeah, it's the
Yeah, true, true, true. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
it's
no, no, that. But I think like if you really look at it, it doesn't really matter because like I mean, look at me, right? Like I have like brown parents too. A lot of people like my audience are Indians, and they're like oh my parents says no, and they say no, and this kind of things. But at the end of the day, if you really want something, you can go and get it. Yes,
definitely.
there might be naysayers here and there, but who doesn't? Right,
Exactly.
like yeah, if you truly want it, let's go and like go and get it. Like I'm not
Yeah,
saying like okay, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
No,
just
go
forget
ahead,
it.
yeah.
Like, yeah, just again, this is again messing up with the middle. Oh, but what will my parents say? Oh, but what will my society watchmen say? It's none of your business, okay? And you really don't need to know that. And first of all, you have to stop caring about that. I know I might sound
Yeah,
very shameless, but then look where you are right now, and with one leap of faith and with the correct direction, you can be at a completely new reality. So why are
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
stopping yourself from that? Why can't you just uh, why can't you come out of your 3D? Like, why can't you give yourself one chance to experience this?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I always say this even to my friends and everything. Like, if you're 80 years old on your deathbed, and if your grandkids or someone asks you, why didn't you go after the person you love, or why didn't you go after your
Exactly.
dreams, you're not gonna say my watchman, thought this was an impractical idea. Like,
Yeah, right.
bruh, like, come on, you know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Yeah, like, yeah, Indians have this thing, like, oh my god, when it comes to SPs, no, they're not from our community, or we don't like the way they look, or this and that. There are 100 reasons, but
oh my
again,
God, yeah, yeah, yeah.
is that what is really, is that, first of all, like I said, it's none of your business. Everything will be taken care of. Again,
Hmm.
I'll say this: you have to be shameless. Just be shameless. Be
Exactly. Yeah, yeah,
stubborn.
yeah.
Okay, so yeah,
Mm.
this is what I want, and I am that. Declare your, go and say it out to yourself, like, yeah, I'm with him, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Who is stopping you? Actually, nobody's stopping you, right?
Mm.
It's in your mind. Everything is in
Precisely.
your
Yeah,
head
yeah, yeah.
anyway.
Mm.
So when I
Mm,
say
mm, mm, mm.
that, okay, so suppose the 3D says that my SPS blocked me, but if I'm going about my day saying, oh, he calls me every day and I'm so happy about, who's going to stop you? Nobody is, right? There's nobody to oppose
Exactly.
you. There's not even,
Yeah,
there's
yeah, yeah.
nobody to say otherwise. So then
That's the thing about
why?
imagination. Is like there's no shackles there.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah.
Exactly. It's so liberating. You can imagine whatever you want.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Because like honestly, because whenever we think about 3D, we think about okay, all those like limitations and everything like that, right? But in your imagination, there's nothing. There's no limitations. So when people say
There's
all these
nothing.
kinds of things like circumstances and everything, except you, of course, nothing except you. So when it
Correct.
comes to your desires, like what is there stopping you from imagining that? I'm not asking you
Nothing.
to go out there and do something. Exactly, nothing. You know, like
Exactly.
even Neville says that, right? All you have to do is the acceptance of it. All that's needed from you is the acceptance of it. As long
Correct.
as you can accept it to be true, that's all that it takes. And I wanted to talk to you about something really quick as well. When it comes to manifesting the time period, right? If you notice, like how, like majority, 90% of the time that actually people claim to be taken for manifestations is actually time taken for them to be convinced that this can be happening in the
Absolutely.
first place, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yes. So, yeah, there are questions where people say, I want to manifest my SP by so and so date, or I want to do this and that. But let me give you an example. I think this might put some people's minds to rest. So,
Mm.
like I told you, I was manifesting a specialization, a particular specialization for my friend.
Friend,
So,
yeah,
your subconscious is really savage and it's really smart. Okay. So, you don't need
yeah.
to be extra smart and do all the work. So what I used to do, like, since I'm a visualization person, I used to visualize her sending me a message, and she's saying like, oh, I got into so and so branch, and that's it. That's all I did, and all of that. So your subconscious knows the time. So basically, the whole package comes with the time. So if you think, so people might think that, oh, when am I going to get this? Will it be
Mm.
delayed, or will it happen after 10 years? What if I start manifesting my SP and they come back, but they come back after 10 years? That's not going to happen. Okay. So while I was manifesting this desired branch for my friend, so my subconscious knew that it had a certain boundary, it had a certain
Yeah.
time frame in which it was supposed to be
Mm.
done. Like, of
Mm.
course, like the rounds were going on and all of that, so it had to be in a certain time frame, and so it did happen in a certain time frame.
Mm.
You don't have to tell your subconscious, give it to me in so and so time, because trust me, when things work out, your subconscious will, and it does take the fastest route. You do not have to tell it, or you don't have to worry whether, oh, what if I'm
Mm.
1 month late and what if this happens. So I feel when you're manifesting, you should really put time out of the window, and that's again, that's not, again, you're going into the how and when. It's really again going to take, it's going
Yeah,
to take
yeah,
your
yeah,
mental
yeah.
health away, nothing else.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, what I was talking about was like the time period. When I say time, meaning like, okay, let's say you have a successful manifestation, and when you look back at it, for example, it took you six
Ah, yeah, yeah,
months.
I get it.
That
Yeah.
majority of the 6 months, yeah. And if you think about it, the manifestation in and of itself, like it probably took you 2 weeks to assume that to be true, and it happens. You know,
Yes,
so it's again
absolutely.
like, yeah, it's yeah, yeah, yeah. It's all about convincing yourself at the end of
Okay.
the day. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah. So yeah, correct. So like Neville also says, it's about the naturalness of that feeling, or like, once you
Yeah,
are
yeah, yeah.
convinced that this is inevitable, or this has already happened, or
Mm.
it can happen no other way, that's when you should feel that, yes, now I'm at the correct place.
Mm.
Because then you don't have to worry about time. Basically, the moment you think of your desire and you think that, yes, this is done and I believe I can have it, then you will have it sooner. Then basically, if you look at all this, the whole time thing, it comes from a place where the moment you start believing in it more and more and more, like a shameless
Mm.
stubborn person, like I said, that's when the time really cuts down on itself, and that's when things happen quicker. So
Yeah, yeah,
all this
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so all this while, when you're manifesting, you're actually only convincing yourself and nobody else.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, that's
That's what
the
you're
real beauty of it. Like, yeah, there's no one to
exactly.
convince but self. Yeah,
But yeah, but self, yeah,
yeah.
correct.
Like, I think Neville also was also talking about this. Like, the higher your level of conviction is,
Conviction,
the shorter
correct,
the
correct.
yeah, 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 the shorter the
Yeah,
time
correct,
period is.
absolutely, definitely.
So yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think like I guess then the question becomes for many people is, okay, how do you sustain that conviction over a period of time? Then like what do you do? Like, I'll explain my routine as well, of course, but I'm curious to know like what's your yeah.
How do you sustain that? Again, be shameless. How what do you want? Like, how desperate are you to get this desire? And let me tell you, not desperate, that's again a wrong thing, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What's the like? Do you have the fire in you, kind of thing, right? Like,
yeah, do you
do you have
have
a
the
burning
discipline in
desire?
you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
are
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
that, basically, how tired are you of your BS? How tired are you?
Mm,
Do you want the old story to play? Do you want to go back? If the answer is no, then you have to continue with it. And okay, so like, how do you sustain that conviction? I would say that it comes, so when conviction comes from a place where you
mm-hmm,
think that your desire has not yet manifested. So now, okay, I'll explain it in an easier way. So if suppose, just say for example, I'm I'm an actor. Okay. So so knowing is blind. Knowing it's a fact. So when people ask me, okay, so who are you? I'll be like, yes, obviously I'm an actor. There is nothing left for me to do, feel, or say. It's as natural. It's my
Mm.
identity. So how do you sustain your conviction? Is come to a point of impressing it upon your mind, or be so shameless and so stubborn that you start seeing and
Mm.
accepting it as your fact. So it's like, how do I sustain this with my SP? I'm like, no, you just say, yeah, we are back together now, and that's my reality.
Mm.
So you go on about it. Conviction is, it actually, it comes with practice. A little bit practice will really help you
Precisely.
and
Yeah.
just stay.
Yeah. No, that's kind
Like
of my thing too. It's like, yeah,
I could
yeah,
talk
yeah.
about this for 10 more hours, but you still won't get it until again you've implemented it. Like this goes for
Precisely.
everyone.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
no, no. Yeah, I completely
Yeah.
agree with you because it's like one is practice and also like trying it out for smaller things and like figuring out, okay, this works
Absolutely.
for me here and experimenting. I think like one thing for me was the way I developed the conviction was I tried it for various different things like my job,
Same, same,
uh,
same. Very same.
with
Yeah.
other people, trying to turn other people, like and turn the
Correct.
situation into my favor. And like really
Correct.
sitting down and like reflecting, okay, what went right here? Like debriefing yourself, you know,
Absolutely. Drawing
breaking it
parallels
down.
between,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah, yeah,
this
yeah.
is the way I thought. And yeah, this person actually started showing up in this way. You can do this for all your situations in life. Oh, like, I used to think these thoughts, and then the person actually reflected that back to me. That person actually confirmed back that to me. So yeah, it's
Yeah, yeah,
sitting
yeah,
again.
yeah.
It comes down to self-reflection, like thinking about what I did. This is the way I thought, and then this happened, or this is what I did, and then this is what I got. So it's like drawing the
Yeah, yeah,
dots. Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. And practice as in visualization. Any technique that you're using to keep your mind in the end state of things, be it
correct,
affirmations, be it reading the script or anything like that. Okay, Doc, I
absolutely.
think this is in your domain. How to manifest a healthy body. Go.
Okay, so wow. Okay, so basically, again, this is what. Okay, healthy body. Healthy, do you mean healthy as in like do you have a particular condition, or do you mean a particular body type? Like, what can I know a little more about that? Then I would,
Yeah. I think that's fair to ask. You
yeah,
guys can
because they're
ask me
two
questions
different things.
privately because because I can't track all the public questions at the moment. So if
Mm-hmm.
you guys have any questions, like send it to me privately so that I do have a record of it. Yeah, I didn't expect this many people to join to me. Okay, particular condition,
Okay.
Doc. Yeah.
Particular condition. Okay, so
Mm.
every time, like, oh, I've done this 3 days back only. So like, I was taking medicine for I don't know, I had this sinusitis thing. Like, I had a headache, and this I used to take steam, and then everything I tried, and then I had a earache. But one day I woke up and I'm like, enough of this shit. I'm completely fine. I don't have, just declare, actually, like, no.
Mm.
Even if your head is throbbing, just say, again, I told you, just be stubborn and be shameless. It's like, just do it, just be there. Like, it's like, no, I don't have a headache, or whatever condition you might have. It's so
Mm.
you just say that, no, I'm healthy, this is not true. And what you can do is, when you're imagining yourself, suppose, say you have a fractured hand, for example. So when you're imagining something, you imagine that, oh yes, I can go to the gym now, imagining yourself lifting up the weights or doing yoga with that hand. Like, oh, I find my strength now, it's back, and I'm so happy. So when you feel it in
Mm.
your imaginary, I don't know how to say this, body or sensation, then it will also happen here. So if I have migraine, for example, then I can still go and imagine
Mm.
myself, because everybody knows what it feels like to be otherwise. Even if I'm having a throbbing headache right now, don't tell me that you don't know what it feels to not have an headache. So everyone knows what it feels to be otherwise. So if I tell you, what would happen to you if you jump off a building, you don't need to actually go and jump off. You know what will happen, right? You know what
Mm.
you'll feel, and you'll probably be dead, but you know what's going to happen. So you don't need to, so you definitely can imagine the opposite of things you are stuck in right now. The whole point is that. So whatever condition you have, if you have a back pain, so of course, I'm sure you know what it feels like to not have backache. So go and imagine that. Go
Mm,
and feel the times when your back is completely fine. You're hanging out, you're walking or whatever, you're doing yoga and it's completely pain free. There's
yeah,
no,
yeah,
so that.
yeah, yeah. One person said lol jump. So yeah, I was like, yeah, so yeah, because I completely agree with that. Like, I think when we talk about mental health as well, like, we are no strangers to that, right?
Of
So,
course.
like, yeah, when I like got out of my diagnosis as well, like one thing was I was like, okay, I'm not gonna associate with that identity anymore. Sure, it
Absolutely.
may be
Yes.
on paper and everything, yeah, but
Again,
I for
every
myself, I'm not
moment
going to,
you have
yeah,
a choice. Every moment you have a
exactly,
choice. Every moment you have a choice. And I
Mm,
want you to choose the best. Like, you can just reject. If that helps you, you can say it out loud in 3D. Like, no,
mm,
get lost. I'm not accepting you. This is not my reality.
yeah, yeah,
This
yeah,
is
yeah,
not
yeah.
what it is. Like, no, I'm not
Mm.
this. I'm not this. You have a choice to say I am this or I am not. Always.
Yeah. Because we always have the choice to declare what we want, but we always like
Absolutely.
choose the ones that is given to us by society or like by our friends, or we let a lot of people dictate who we are, except
Absolutely.
ourselves.
No, no,
And I
and we
think that's
also
a
do it
problem. Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah, yeah,
We
yeah, yeah,
love the
yeah, yeah,
pain.
yeah.
Now don't tell me that
Mm,
when you're telling a sad story, you're not telling it with so much of passion. Like, oh, like he did this, and it feels so
mm,
bad. Then you start listening to sad songs with so much of passion. Like, how desperate are you to self f up your life? Like, if
mm.
there's a meme. Like, if today, if all of your problems in your life would disappear, you would disappear first, because sometimes you're the one who's in your way. you know
No.
so
That's so
don't get
true.
into your
Yeah,
own
yeah,
way,
yeah.
right? Like, like the most like a very addict, like, going into that old story and replaying all that version of you is a addiction I've seen in a lot of people. Like, people have so much conviction, they have so much of attachment to their old self. They every time they're telling that story to
True,
a
very
friend
true.
or to anybody else, they are like, oh, but you know what, and then he did this, and then he did that, and then this happened. Then you'll go back and look at the old pictures, then you go back and read the chats, then you go back and listen to 10 sad
Mm,
songs, and then that is what is going to manifest. So why won't you just take a break? Why won't you take a step down?
yeah.
And you'll be like, doesn't matter, from now on it's what I want, from now on it's this. You choose,
This
you
is something,
dictate, you
yeah,
declare.
I've seen it in a lot of like communities, especially like Facebook communities are notorious for this. I'm not sure if you are in Facebook or anything, but
Oh no, I hate
uh,
Facebook. Yeah.
yeah. It's a good thing because like like one thing I've seen in a lot of different groups is that they would say like, okay, can I message you? And then they will go on and rant to a person, for example, and they
Correct.
don't want a solution. They just want to talk about the story and kind of repeat that cycle over and over again. And
Yeah, yeah,
they
because
wonder
that's
like,
what they
why is
know.
this happening? Yeah,
that
exactly. Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what they know, and that's what they're comfortable with. Again, that's the identity that they've been there a long while. So if they feel that,
Yeah.
if I disassociate with this version of myself, who am I after this?
Doc, yeah.
If not this pain, if
Okay.
not this person,
Yeah.
then who am I? Oh, sorry, yeah, what?
No. I couldn't hear your audio briefly, so yeah, I just wanted to make sure. Yeah.
Eh, eh, eh,
No,
Yeah.
but now
So
I can hear you.
there was a
Yeah.
question. There was a question I'd like to take. It was about the Mercury retrograde, and this is a very good one. I'll take it if you allow
Yep.
me to. So it said that, do you
Go ahead.
think?
Yeah.
Yeah. So does it really affect you, or do you think it affects you? Let me tell you, I was a lot into this stuff. I used to think that everything affects me. Let me be very clear and honest here. Uh, I don't even know that there's a Mercury retrograde going on right now, and I am at my best mental health that I can ever be. So it's the things that you focus on.
Yeah.
It's the things that you feel will happen to you. It's a thing that you believe. If I believe that, if I step out of my house and if a black cat crosses my
Mm,
path, then I'm going to have a bad day. Then congratulations, you will, because that's what you are believing. So whatever you believe happens. If you believe that a certain thing is going to mess up my life, if it's going to spoil my day, or if a certain thing is going to make it better, then it will. Period. So it's what you believe. It's not the thing actually that is affecting you, or it's not the thing that actually messing it up. It's you. It's your belief that
it's you.
is,
Yeah.
again, like, it's your belief that manifests. It's not the thing itself.
Because that's how powerful you are. you
Of
know, like
course, you are
yeah,
ever
you can
powerful.
override everything. Yeah,
You're
yeah,
God. Yeah, right.
yeah.
Mm.
Like I think in this case it's like, ignorance is bliss, like if you don't know
Oh
anything,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, just mute and like just be, very tunnel vision when it comes to your desire. Just
Exactly
focus,
that
buckle
that
down and
tunnel vision.
focus. Yeah, yeah,
Exactly
yeah,
my
yeah.
point. Exactly my point. You need that tunnel vision. Like,
Mm,
and I would really say that, if especially if you're new in this community, or even if you're not new, it's really helpful if you stick down to one desire at a time, because then again, it focus is something that's very important here.
No, no, I completely agree because even for me, like I would handle things like, okay, one thing at a time. Because that's
Absolutely.
how I process things. Because like I can't have
Same.
like
Same.
10 different manifestations that I want to do.
No, 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 no.
Because if let's say I'm affirming or even if I'm doing visualizing, for example, how many scenes am I going to replay? And my time is so
Absolutely.
limited. Like I have to there are responsibilities I have to undertake,
Everyone has,
and all those kinds of things.
yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
definitely. So
So
again, yeah,
I
when
I
when you
feel
just
like
spoke
yeah,
about
it's just one. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
how many scenes am I going to imagine? This is one thing I really want to talk about. Like, when it comes to SP, I've seen people get excited. I've read so many success stories that, oh, he called me today, oh, he texted me today. But is that what you want? Is that your end goal? Then why are you so happy about that? So that's why, suppose if some people out there are manifesting marriage with your SP, or say whatever, marriage, engagement. So I would say, go to a scene and create a scene that implies your engagement or your marriage. Suppose you're exchanging garlands or
Mm-hmm.
something. So whenever you think of your desire, then you directly go to that scene. That scene should be the first thing, the first image that should pop in your head when you think
Precisely.
of your
Yeah,
desire.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you don't have to construct
Mm,
10 other scenes where you're holding hands, where he's saying, I love you. Because if you are really in the end, all that is going to happen,
the
all that
middle will sort
already has
itself out.
happened.
Yeah.
Exactly. Why are you
Mm.
obsessed? Why are you creating 10 more scenes for the middle story? That is not your concern. Just go to the end. There's a reason why Neville said go to the end. Because in the end, if you are
Yeah, yeah,
really
yeah.
marrying someone, if you're in your own marriage ceremony, would you be thinking, oh, will this person look at me this way? Will he call me every day? Of course he's calling you every day. Of course he's crazy. That's why you're in the ceremony in the first place, isn't that?
Mm. Yeah, 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 yeah. I always say this, like, I always use the Pythagoras theorem triangle as an example, right?
Hmm.
The hypotenuse is like the shortcut. If you want to go to the end, it's like that,
Absolutely,
if
yeah.
you imagine the end. But if you think about the middle, you will go like, you will take that right angle way basically. It's longer. Like if you go
Why?
straight to the
Yeah.
end, you get what I mean? Like because
Of
if you
course
want
I
to
do. That's what
manifest
I
the
do.
text, yeah, 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 yeah. If you manifest
Yeah.
the text and then marriage, like, and a lot of people do this too, like they lose sight of the end desire
Of
once they
course.
get the middle milestone. They get sucked into the 3D
Yeah.
again,
Right. Right.
So
Right.
yeah, that's a issue as well. So going straight to the end, keep it simple, keep it easy for yourself. Go straight to the end. The middle will sort itself out. Doesn't matter
Absolutely.
when you are marrying that person. It doesn't matter if they unblocked you or they are texting you or calling you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly. Right. Because how would it?
yeah, yeah,
How
yeah.
can you text a person who you're living with? Logical again. Right. Yes, yes. It said start from the end. Yeah. Your end is your beginning. Like, that's what I do. Like, whenever you have your desire, I really would suggest all of y'all who are here to try this out. Like, whenever you first of all define what you want. If whatever it is, if it's house, if it's money, if it's your SP, define your end
Mm,
scene. Do you want to get married to them? Do you want to engage? What do you want? What do you want? This is the most important thing. If you want a reunion with them, then first of all construct a scene. It's very simple. Like, really, people struggle because they struggle to believe that it's so simple. They want something difficult. Then
mm,
how can you help them if somebody refuses to believe that it's so simple? So yeah, so construct a scene, and every time, just do it for a few days. Every time you think of your desire, do not think of anything else. Just
mm,
directly go to that scene. Once you
mm.
train your mind like that, you will notice that all the other thoughts, all the emotions disappear. So
Yeah,
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 you
yeah,
can
yeah.
just write. Yeah.
No, because I think when it comes to you asked, right, like, okay, why is it like difficult for people to kind of accept, like, why is this easy or why do people complicate it? Like, because I think people are very used to that right from the
Absolutely.
beginning. Like, life has, like we always say, life doesn't give anything to you on a silver platter. You
No,
have to
but it
work
does,
hard.
because no, no, yeah, yeah. With this,
Yeah, yeah,
with
yeah,
this,
yeah,
with
yeah,
this law, with this law, you yourself are the silver platter. You are gold.
yeah, precisely.
Okay,
Like
so
you are
I am
gold, right?
having
Yeah, yeah.
multiple scenes about marriage life, not to obsess, but just to enjoy the feeling. Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can enjoy your feeling, but if you're able to sustain that, yes. But if you're not then I would say go to your end scene. Like just keep one scene, don't complicate it. Because when you actually go to your scene every time, when you think of your desire, you're training your subconscious mind to,
Yeah.
you're telling your subconscious mind that when it comes to this part of my life, when it comes to this desire, this is not my
Mm.
reality, this is. So every time you
Mm.
go to your image, you're telling your mind, when it comes to this part, this is the reality, this is the reality, this is the reality. So every
Exactly. Yeah,
time
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the subconscious will soak in the image, you know what that image means, your subconscious know what that image means, and the things will happen. Simple.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about really quick as well before I answer the other questions as well.
Hmm.
Was your subconscious is very smart. Your
It's
subconscious
very
knows exactly what you want. Yeah, when I
definitely.
say favorable, it knows what it wants. And I experimented with it, right? Like when I said, may
Me
everything
too.
be
Yeah.
favorable for me, it knows exactly what I want. It's
Yes.
not
Yeah.
like I have to say, micromanage everything. Like you
No, no,
don't
no. You
have
don't.
to do that.
You
Yeah,
don't have
yeah.
to do that. So it's like you don't have to tell your subconscious, oh, you know what? I want you to do this in this way, in this way. Look, your subconscious is you yourself. It's
No,
smart. It's
exactly. Yeah,
million
yeah,
times
yeah.
smarter than you are. It knows exactly what you're doing. It knows what that end scene means. That's why I say, don't even say it to yourself. Like, don't affirm if you don't want to. If it gets you into that loop of obsession or something,
Mm.
just forget it. Don't do it. Go to your end scene. Your subconscious knows what that scene means, and it will give you the exact thing, because you don't have to tell your subconscious like, I want this, I want this, then when I go to the cafe, I want him to
Mm.
say this. All of that will happen. Your subconscious knows what you want, so just relax.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's all a lot of this is about surrendering. Even in life, you're
Hmm.
not going to be able to control everything. Like,
Yeah,
you're
I
not going to
was
be
like
able,
that.
there'll always be factors that are beyond your control in every single
Absolutely.
situation. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So all you can do is sit back and relax in the knowing that it's inevitable, because it's really inevitable. Like, why won't you? Like, also when it comes to manifestation, I don't like having a plan B or something, okay? Because the moment you
Oh,
start
no,
thinking
no,
about a
no.
plan B, you're telling your
Mm.
brain, like, you're again telling your brain, what if this doesn't happen? But how can you think about that when it's already a fact? If I'm an actor today,
Mm.
how can I think that, oh, what if I'm not an actor, then what would I be? How can I think about that when I'm already acting, when I already am an actor, right?
Mm.
till how
No,
many
no, no. That's very true. Yeah.
till how much time and many times we need to visualize to make it natural.
As
I
many times
Okay,
as you
so
need. That varies from person to person.
person to person,
You can,
from now
yeah.
I'm at a point where the first time I do it, I know it's done. Like the first time I
Mm.
visualize it, I know it's done, because only because I visualize it. See, it's your reality. Don't you think all of us, like children, or even like, we have this we have this fantasy of living in your own world and making your own rules. So congratulations, with this law you actually get to do that. So it's literally
Mm-hmm.
my life, my rules. Like, genuinely, if I make a rule, like, I don't do anything, I just visualize, and then it comes to me, then that will happen. If you think that I have to affirm for at least 10 days and I have to visualize till so and so thing happens and then it comes to me, then that will be a reality. So it's
Yeah.
absolutely anything that you want it to be.
Yeah, yeah,
How
yeah. Okay,
vivid
there's another
is your
question I wanted to answer.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
sure. So, yeah.
Should I go to the older questions? Yeah, because there's
Yeah,
a
yeah, take the older
few.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Take it, take it.
Okay, so there's this one which says like, what does SP feel when you're affirming and visualizing? I think we have already
I,
talked about this, but yeah,
I,
I
I
just
would
want to
say I would
address it.
I would
Yeah,
say don't think about it. Just don't. Because what
exactly.
they feel, because see, again, if you would actually be in a relationship with them, would you care what they think? No, you would actually, again, even when you're in a relationship with them, even when you get back together with them, try to understand what I'm saying. All your focus will only be feeling the good feelings that you are feeling. That time you won't be thinking, oh, what is he thinking? Ultimately, it's all about you. When you get back together, when you are on the call with your SP or whatever you are with them, you'll come back home and you think, oh, I had such a nice time. Not You won't think
Mm,
that, oh, did he have such a nice time when he was talking this? Was he thinking this? No, it always comes down to you. Oh, I had such a nice time. I really love
mm,
going out with him. Again, it's the I. Again, it's you. It's I am. So I would
mm,
say, I used to do this, like when I used to affirm, and then I used to think, oh, are my thoughts reaching that person? Or is he or she thinking about this? Don't do that. That's none of your business. And frankly, that will take you out of your state. Because again, then you're going and checking. It's like checking. oh, I'm doing this here. So what about that? What's happening there? You don't need to know what's
Yeah,
happening
yeah,
there.
yeah.
The only thing that
It's not a
matters is
game
what's
of
happening
chess,
here.
you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What's happening here is all that matters.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. How vivid is your visualization? Yeah, I think, would you like to go with that or should I start?
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
No, it's very vivid. Like I can literally visualize with my eyes open.
Same,
I
same,
mean, I
same,
could be
same.
looking at you right now, but I could be visualizing my end scene, and I actually am.
I'm not surprised. But yeah, no, like same,
Yeah.
same, 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 same. Because like for me, like I mean, let's be honest. Like I used to like be an outstanding student all the time. So,
Same.
like there was yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we need to kill time. Like especially morning parades and everything as well. Like yeah. So yeah, I think daydreaming is like how I started with it. Like I
It's
was
my
really good
favorite
at
thing.
visualizing. Yeah,
Same.
yeah, 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 yeah. So,
Yeah.
but I know it's not like easy for everyone, but it's like a muscle. If you practice it, you can get good at it. Like that's
Absolutely.
one thing to yeah, yeah, yeah. So I would say like the kitchen example you gave earlier, right? That's what I always tell people. It's like, okay, visualize your kitchen, for example, then go there, see the details again, and then come back and visualize it again. Like do that over and over again. Like like it's like give attention to detail.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because I think it's like also my line of work too, like because I was an art student, right? Like we have to like observe everything and like the proportions and all those kinds of stuff. So like it kind of like I was kind of natural at it, but I know it can like you can practice this to get it too. So it's not something that's like unique for certain individuals or whatsoever. It can be natural for some, but it doesn't mean that it's like only restricted to them alone. Like you can still
Absolutely.
visualize too. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I would like to take this question because it's important. Do you use all your senses? Okay. So no, like no. Okay. Why do we visualize? Basically, why do we visualize? It's like whenever we
Mm.
do, it doesn't matter. Like I've manifested things in first person point of view visualization and third person as well. It really again because your subconscious is very smart. You don't need to tell your subconscious, oh look, you know what, I'm doing this in first person point of view. Then you have to make it
Yeah.
happen because if I do it in
Yeah,
third,
yeah,
then it
yeah,
won't.
yeah, yeah.
So it's
Mm.
look, you may be dumb, but your subconscious is not. Okay, just take my word for it. So it's like you don't need to explain stuff. So why do we
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
visualize? It is to tell why the fact that why do we do all this? It's for your human self. When you're
Priming your
visualizing,
mind, basically. Yeah.
you're telling your human self that see me, my God self, has seen this happen. It's a reality. So see, if I can see this, you will see it too in 3D. Every time you're visualizing, you're soothing, you're convincing your human 3D self, like, look, I can see it, and you will
Mm.
too. Like, look, it's already a reality here. So why are you
Exactly.
worrying?
Yeah,
If
yeah,
I
yeah.
can see it, you will
Mm.
too. Okay, this is to
Yeah,
convince. This is
yeah.
you calm down. This is like your higher self talking to you. Like, see, I brought what you want me to do. I did what you wanted me to do.
Mm.
So why are you worried?
Yeah, I always say like if you can see it in your mind, where does it come from? Right? Like it has
Exactly.
to
Where
come
does it
from
come?
somewhere.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, it already exists. So okay, there's this question where they say, do you use all your senses? Do you,
I
Doc?
no, I just gave the answer to that. No, you
Yeah,
don't need to.
exactly. Yeah, 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 yeah,
It's
yeah,
it's
yeah,
basically
exactly.
you're
Yeah.
convincing yourself. Like, see, you tell
Mm.
your mind, like, look, the fact that it's real is every time I close my eyes, I can see it. So that's how I know it's real. It doesn't matter
Mm-hmm.
if my senses, if it's not here in the 3D yet, but if I can see it, I will see it in my 3D. Period.
Okay. Yeah,
Hmm.
there's one more. So, how to stay in wish fulfilled throughout the day? Can we stay in the state throughout the day or week? Is it possible? How much time is good enough to be in the state? So, how long can you sustain it? I guess is the question. So, like for me, what I would do is I would, okay, like think about it maybe morning or something like that, maybe like 10, 20 minutes, I'll dwell in it. And then I'll just drop it and go through my day. Like I
Same.
won't
I
be
I do the
like,
same.
thinking about it all the time. Like it's mine, okay, done, I get it. But like I'm not gonna be sitting there and like, continuously like thinking about it all the time. If I have things to do, like day-to-day tasks, I'll be try to be in the present moment of things. Like that's what I would do because it's
Uh,
already mine. Like if you know your Amazon package is coming, it's already yours. You don't have to do anything there. Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's what I also
Okay, I'm
love to
trying to
do. It's
wave to
like
everyone. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so that's what I would do the same. Like absolutely, I think about. I think about it, my end scene. Also, I deliberately don't do any routine or stuff,
Mm-hmm.
because my end scene, I just do the scene for fun. Okay, basically it's not to set myself into a routine.
Mm.
So when I know a scene, how actually I'll tell you the honest answer to if you can stay in that state throughout the day is no, because it's very unnatural to the mind. If I
Mm.
tell you to be happy, you're not
Mm.
going to be happy throughout the day. If I tell you to be sad, that is also not going to be true. So your mind does not work like that. So don't try to do unnatural stunts and pull this off. So that's why I tell you
Mm.
again, don't overthink it, don't overcomplicate it. Your subconscious knows the moment you imagine, the moment you visualized your first scene, the first time you did it, your subconscious knows what work has to be done. So do me a favor,
Mm.
and throughout the day, just go about your day, try to be more present in what you're doing. If you're studying, study. If you're working, work. Don't think of the desire much, like don't obsess over it. But every time the thought of the desire comes, go to the scene, drop it. Thought comes, go to the scene, drop it.
Mm.
Do not think a single word. You don't need to think anything else. So that's what I do, because then that takes away the obsession away from that, and then that helps me.
Yeah. Okay, do you think telepathy works? I mean, in a nutshell, it's thought transmission, right? So
Yeah,
thought transmission is happening all the time. And yes, it does work. People are receiving our thoughts, just not on a conscious level. They are receiving it still. When you do that repeatedly, like when you think about a person, just gets impressed in them. And they're also like reflecting your overall state of mind as well. If you think the world is,
definitely,
a very nice place, people are going to reflect that. You're going to see kindness on the street as well. And it
definitely.
works both ways though. Yeah. So yeah, what's your take on that, Doc?
Absolutely. Also, again, when you ask me this question, I'm sure you're focusing more on what the other person thinks when you're doing certain things. So I would again say,
Mm,
drop it. What does it matter if telepathy is not even real? What if they never get your thoughts, but they still come somehow, but your subconscious has forced them to come to your place? What if they never got a single thought about you, but something happened to them one day and they just show up at your place and then things happen? Why would you mind that either? Like,
mm.
right?
Yeah, because I think a lot of
Again,
people are
when you're
very analytical about this, like they
absolutely,
want to understand how this works. But I don't think it's necessary though, at the end of the day. You just have to
it's
just
not
go,
necessary.
yeah, you just have to trust that it works and it will work. Like, if you believe that, it's already done deal, it has to show
Absolutely.
up. Yeah.
Because again, when I'm when I'm asking about telepathy, I'm again trying to micromanage something. I'm again trying to see if, oh, if I'm thinking these thoughts, then is he or she thinking them too? So again, that comes from a place of knowing whether this works, or how would this work, or does this work or no. Again, baseline is that only.
Mm.
So I would say, yeah, just
Yeah. Okay. There's an e-commerce question. So I visualize a scene, but the sales I
mm,
get every day varies a lot. Sometimes I get thousands of dollars in a day, and sometimes I get zero. How do I maintain my state? You maintain the state of abundance by, thinking that, okay, regardless of what happens, by end of this month, you have X amount in your bank account, you know? So sure, things may vary in a business day to day, which is normal,
yeah,
by
sure,
the way.
yeah, which
Yeah,
normal, by
but
the way.
yeah. So, but the thing is, you maintain, okay, by end of this month, I'm receiving X amount of money all the
Hmm.
time, and you can like practice inner conversations with people, and with your mom or your dad or something like that. Oh, hey guys, I'm earning X amount by end of this month. I'm always receiving X amount by this month, and all those kinds of things. And what's going to happen is that you are going to hit the target regardless. One day you may have an unexpected flow of orders or something like that. So you
Yes.
never know how that may happen. That is not your business, like you always say. But when you have like an end desire that way, like on a monthly basis or like a quarterly basis or something like that, that has to be fulfilled. So again, this comes down to like micromanaging it every single day, right? You're not going to, try to like, okay, micromanage every single day's sales, because that could vary. I mean, you can have a
Yeah,
target too, like
yeah,
daily,
like,
but yeah.
yeah. So when it comes to this micromanaging, like day-to-day sales, I would say, like, suppose you take any actor or actress, who do you want to take? Like, give me a name. Like, okay, so let's, for example, take, I don't know, okay, any actor, any actress.
Okay,
So
okay, okay.
if they have a one movie that is not super hit or something, is that going to shake their self-esteem, or is that going to shake the knowing that they're still a successful actor or actress or whatever.
Mm.
So it shouldn't
Mm.
shake your knowing. It's like, no matter what happens, look, the whole point of manifestation, I think people get into all of these questions because they think, because the basic human nature, they try to battle the natural way that the mind works. Nothing in your mind can be sustained all day long, no matter even how
Mm.
happy you are. Even if you just got married, you just got an Oscar, but are you going to be in that state all your life long? No, it's not possible. So I would say, don't try to do unnatural things, because it's not possible for you to sustain any feeling,
Mm.
however nice or however bad it is. Of course, you're going to have multiple feelings throughout the day. You're going to have multiple thoughts. So it's very natural.
But
I
that's
think
being human, though. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
being human first. I think
Mm.
all people struggle because they try to do unnatural things. They think that, now I visualize my scene, now I should feel the
Mm.
certain way. But you tell me the truth, even when you're back with your SP, are you not going to have fights with them? Of course, you sometimes you want to kill them, you don't want to talk to them, and that happens, right? So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's not like always you're in a relationship and you're like, oh, I love him, or she loves me. So why are you trying to act and do something unnatural? That's my question.
Mm. Yeah.
You
Okay.
can't
So
sustain anything all the
yeah,
time.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's true. That's true. I want to answer this one. Manifesting big within a specific day. Firstly, don't think it's a big thing in the first
Hmm.
place. It's just another thing. If you can
Absolutely.
manifest $1, you can manifest a million. Same thing, right? The only difference is in your mind. So don't think it's a big thing. You're manifesting something within a specific date. It's done. How, you don't have to know. When, you don't have to, like you define it, but you're not going to be anticipating it.
Absolutely correct.
So
Yes.
yeah, you're just going to go by your day. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And let me tell you one thing. Of all the ways you can think that your manifestation is going to come to you, none of that will be true. It's like, one of my friends used to say this, when I used to study for my Viva, he used to say this in fun. Oh, are you studying this chapter? This is they're not definitely not going to ask this one. They're definitely not going to ask any question from this one. So that's what I would like to say about the manifestation as well. It comes to you when you least expect it. And if you think, your 3D mind, your mind can think of 10 ways, or like, oh, you know what, this will happen and then this will happen. But let me tell you, universe is
Mm.
going to surprise you, and you are going to be surprised, and I want you to enjoy that. I want you to enjoy the unfolding. So why won't you allow yourself a little pleasant surprise in your life? Let it unfold. Enjoy the drama.
Mm. Yeah, 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 yeah. Like I'll just let it unfold and like just okay. I think this is also kind of related to this question, but keep reminding myself that it's already done, right? I wouldn't say it's necessary, but unless you just when you think about the desire, just like okay, it's done. When those
Hmm.
thoughts just comes to you about the end desire, you can just be
Exactly.
like, yeah, it's done,
It's
and just
done.
move
Yeah.
on.
And just move
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
don't
yeah.
don't
So that's
don't
something
sit
you
and
can do.
think, oh,
Yeah.
is it done? Oh, what if it's not? See, this is the reason, only the reason why I encourage you to go to the end scene is to cut down all these thoughts, is basically to cut down all these thoughts. Because I know the human mind works like that. When you think of your desire, and if you even start affirming, oh, it is done,
Mm.
oh, I'm already in my new house, or then you'll be thinking, but what if I'm not? So basically, just go to your
Mm.
end scene now. Imagine yourself
Mm.
sitting in that house and sipping your
Mm.
coffee. That'll give you instant gratification. That'll give you satisfaction. Oh yeah, it's done. Your subconscious will take the cue and move on. Go on with your life.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I think the main thing also is just when you go into the end, like you are making it easier for yourself. Like remind yourself of that. Like this is
Yeah,
the
why would
easiest way
you?
to do it.
Yes, why would you
Yeah,
tax
yeah,
yourself?
yeah, yeah.
Why would you trouble yourself? Your 3D is really incapable. Your
Exactly.
3D human self is really incapable. It's not in. It's when you let your 3D self do what it's good at, living your 3D life. All this stuff
Mm.
is really not your business. It's really not the 3D business. So let it be done. Let the shots be called where they are actually being called, in the subconscious. And your subconscious is, I mean, it's really savage. I mean, it really will go out of its way to get you what you want. Trust that. It
Yeah,
does.
yeah, yeah. I think, yeah, the reason why we are so bent on going to the end straight away for both of us is our history with anxiety, for example. Because if we try to micromanage something,
You're
it's a
gonna
never
lose your
ending,
shit.
rabbit.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
are. Let
And
me tell you,
even,
yeah.
no, no, no. Yeah, 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 yeah. Because like even for me, like I used to think about my pathway towards my workplace. Like
Correct.
what route am I going to take? And my mind would consciously think about that. And I'm like, why am I micromanaging something as trivial as that? You know,
Exactly.
even like a simple like delivery, or like, if I'm delivering something for my mom or anything like that, like dropping off something to a friend's place or something, it becomes like a, like a Mars rover mission or something like that in my mind. That's how anxiety can make you. And the best
Absolutely.
way
Yes,
to
it
deal
can.
with all of that is, like, to go straight to the end, right?
Absolutely.
And I think like going straight to the end like just negates everything. And that's why my affirmations also, like, I always use like blanket affirmations all the time. May everything be favorable for me.
Me
Or I
too. Yeah.
manifest things with ease and grace, because it covers everything. I don't have to sit down there and micromanage everything. And that
Absolutely.
is
I
so
hate
relieving.
micromanaging.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
very
Yeah,
relieving.
yeah,
It
yeah.
takes the burden off. It doesn't sound like work. It doesn't sound like you have to do something. Basically, you don't have to do anything. Okay, just a little warning here,
Mm.
Gautam. My battery is running very low. It's like 7% right now. I don't know. My
Oh,
phone might
okay.
go off any moment. Okay, like wait.
Any moment right
Set.
now. Okay, we'll
Three.
wrap it up in about 5 minutes then. Does that sound good?
Sure. Okay, fine. Please. Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. Yeah,
Okay.
right.
Okay, okay. No, no, no. Yeah, we'll just wrap it up then. Yeah, we'll just give it 2 minutes, then we'll just wrap it up. This video will be uploaded onto YouTube, guys, so you can watch it. No issue there. So yeah, like, is there anything you wanna wrap it up, Doc? Like anything you wanna say? Yeah,
I have so many things to say. I think we might just need another live.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll just name it part one then. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
We'll just coordinate it. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure,
yeah. I
sure,
mean, there
sure.
are so many
Yeah, guys. I think
questions,
we will
and
continue this in another day.
yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I would love to take all these questions, and I'm
yeah, yeah,
really
yeah.
sorry that I know I can't answer all of them, but I would love to because trust me, I've been there, and I really want people to reach where you and I are today because it's life changing. It's very easy, and yeah, basically that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But thank you for your time, though. I really appreciate it. Like you dropping
Thank
by
you.
and like,
Yeah.
agreeing to this live and everything. No, no, no. I really appreciate it. So yeah,
Thanks.
charge you for next
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Thank you for
So
letting me be there on your live and talk about all of this. Like, really, yeah.
no, no, no. It's a pleasure because like yeah, I wanted like some fresh perspective on this as well. So and yeah, like I'll definitely put this on YouTube shortly. And guys, thank you so
Sure.
much for coming. And yeah, remember your thoughts create your reality. Go straight to the end, and we'll continue this soon as well. So yeah, thank you guys. Yeah.
Definitely. Thank
Yeah.
you.
All right
Bye.
then. Yeah.